Hey there. Are you ready for a simple and effective way for tracking your goals? Today, I am going to share my goal tracking template using Asana. But before we dig in, I want you to be sure and subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified every Thursday when I publish a new episode. And if we've not met yet, I'm Kathy Schneider, and I have been an online entrepreneur since 2001, helping solopreneurs elevate your game with streamlined workflows and organized habits. This is so you can maximize your productivity because I am all about helping you spend more time doing the things you enjoy with the people you love and not falling into that habit of working every free minute of every day. Does that sound familiar? Okay, let's jump over to my computer now and let's take a look inside Asana. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to jump inside Asana and I want to walk you through the steps of creating your goal setting template inside your Asana account. So the first thing you're going to want to do is create, let's go back for just a minute, jump over to just my main Asana account for just a minute. And what I want to do is show you what you want to do is you want to create a new project. All right. So if you can go up here to the little plus sign, you can create a project. And when you hit project, it's going to come up like this. So what you'll want to do then is just create a blank project unless you have a copy of my spreadsheet template, which I'll be providing inside my memberships. But I wanted, if you're not in those memberships or if the membership is not yet available, then you'll need to just create a blank project. But I'm going to walk you through all the steps so that you understand how to do this. So you're going to create a blank project. You name your project, all right? And then the important thing here, let's see, it's going to require that we name something. And then you're going to make it private to project members. Now, here's the thing. If you, even if you're working alone right now, at some point that may change, right? So, that's the whole goal, is to eventually have a team helping you get things done so that you're not working 24/7, but you've got all these things being done. So that's the ultimate goal, to get there. But obviously we've got to take the steps that get us there, right? So what I want you to do is then you would hit continue and you would create your project. What I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and hit continue so you can see what it's like, and then it says start adding tasks. So then you jump in and it's going to look like this, and you can see it's completely blank. There's nothing there, right? It's completely blank. But we've created our new project. So I'm going to rename it right quick just to make this easy for you and call it, let's see, goals test. Goals test. Okay. We don't need to put project there because it's literally, this is a project. So goals test. All right. And I'll give you a little tip. If you like emojis, you kind of like to make things fun and attractive and don't want just all the text. If you'll hit Control, Command, Shift, it'll pop up your emojis and you can actually pick what you want to put there. So like I did that one, and then I'll do Control, Command, Shift again, and I'll put the little target here, and then it comes up like that. So that's kind of fun. Just something fun to let you see how that works. And then you've got that up here. So that's like, okay, these are goals that we've got set for certain dates, right? And they're kind of our target. It's what we're shooting for. So then before we can continue on, and I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to show you how this is all set up. But before we get into that, the first thing you've got to do is you've got to have your goals written down. And this isn't a training specifically on goals. We've got other videos that help you with that. But what I want you to do is I want you to think about putting those goals on paper. And what I recommend is that you do a Google Doc that outlines your goals. And I have a template that I use every year. And I'm going, again, I provide this as an example inside the memberships, but I'll show you here what this looks like, because you can certainly create your own. It's very simple and easy to do. And so this one, I call it the template worksheet because it's one that I use over and over. So what I do is when I'm ready to fill this out, I can either just click File and then make a copy, and then I can rename it, and then click the copy here, and it's ready to go. Okay, so I'm not going to do that on this one because it's just a demonstration. I just want to show you what you'll need, but you're going to want, before you set your goals, I'm going to recommend that you create a minimum or no more than 8. 5 is better, and I like to say a minimum of 5. But what you want is business projects, and this would be over like for the year. So if at the current time of this recording, it's actually in May, okay, or no, I think it's actually June, isn't it? It's June. So at the time of this recording, it's June. So what you could do is you could say, okay, what do I want to complete between now and the end of the year? All right. Like if you don't have business projects listed, then I want to encourage you to stop and think, what projects do I want? These are like major projects. So these aren't necessarily goals, although they sort of are, but these are like projects you want to complete before the end of the year. Normally what I like to do is do this at the beginning of the year. So I'll do this either between Christmas and New Year's, or sometimes I'll even, if I take that week off, which many times I do, then I'll do it like the first week of January. All right. And what you want to be thinking about is, what projects do I want to complete before the end of the year? And you're going to list those projects down below. All right. You just are going to type those in and list the projects, because as you set your goals are kind of around those projects. Now, if it works better for you, if in your mind you like setting the goals and then deciding what projects do I need to create to achieve these goals, you can do it that way as well. All right. I have done it both ways, and a lot of times it just depends on kind of where you're at in your business as to which way works best. But then what I want you to do next is I want you to create your goals for the next 12 months. And this would be no more than 12. The 12 and the 12 have no, like they're not really connected. That's a coincidence. But the thing is, you want no more than 12. If you only have 8, that's cool. If you have all 12, that's cool. It doesn't matter. You want to determine, that's up to you. What I do recommend here, this is the only thing I'll say about goals in specific here, as far as a little tip for goal setting, is don't make them all business goals. Maybe some of these are, maybe it's a goal to take a couple of trips in the next 12 months. Maybe it's a goal to, get to a certain weight. Maybe it's a goal to prepare your meals at home. Maybe you want to fix 5 meals at home a week and only eat out twice, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Maybe you want to have a date night every Friday night or every Thursday night. That's a goal. So these goals can be relationship, they can be spiritual, they can be financial, they can be health related, they can be, certainly some of them need to be business related by all means, but you want to break these down into all the different areas of your life. So think about that and add your goals there. And you'll obviously, as you do this, you won't put goal 1, you'll just write out what that goal is. And so you want no more than 12, and you want to just make sure that they're kind of a variety of the different areas of life. And that will benefit you more. You don't want 12 business goals. That's way too many business goals for that. So that's what I want you to do there. And then I want you to also set, after you do your 12. Oh, and one thing I'll mention for this is something that I update every quarter. So each quarter, let's say, you're like right now it's June. So you've got January, February, March, April, May, June. So we're at the end of quarter 2. Okay. So into quarter 2, once we finish this month, then in the 1st of July, you want to look at it. Maybe you've accomplished goals 1 through 4. and I'm using that just because it's easy to grab them there. Maybe it's 1, 6, and 11, but you've accomplished these goals. They're done. Well, what I want you to do is create your new ones, like for the next 12 months. So this, you notice your projects are an annual thing. They're for the year. This is something you're going to do once a year. Goals for the next 12 months are something that you're going to update quarterly. And this is my recommendation. It has worked really well for me. So you look at it and you go, okay, goal 2 has been accomplished. So I can mark that off and I can put something else in there. So you'll redo these goals, this part, based on possibly your projects, possibly not, depending on how you're looking at that. And you're going to create your up to 12 goals. All right. And then you're going to start breaking it down. And here's what I like to do is when I have a goal, it's like, okay, when would I like this goal to be completed? Oh, I want that done in Q3, quarter 3, we'll say. So I would note it here. So what you do is you take these 12 goals and you fill them in down here over the next 12 months. So you're always, this is like a rotating calendar. It's like it's almost always moving. Okay. Every quarter it's going to be moving. And so you kind of want to fill that in. If that feels a little overwhelming to you, then just go with where you're at. If you're in quarter 3, Q3, then just fill out what are your goals for quarter 3? What things from up here do you want to put down here? All right. And you just fill them in. And then I do this actually monthly. I don't do this in advance, but each month. So let's say we want to set our June goals. I would go down to June and I would literally just start typing out that, okay, so what are my goals for this month? What do I want to accomplish this month? Want to accomplish before the month ends. So you want to do that there. All right. And that's all you need to do on this worksheet. Now that we get into a little more detail inside Asana, and I'll show you that now, but you want to make sure that you've at least got your goal, your monthly goal for whatever the current month is. And then of course, the quarter that you're currently at, or maybe you take like I say, your goals for the next 12 months and you break those down into quarterly goals so that you kind of know, okay, I want to get this accomplished by quarter 4, we'll say by December 31st, I want goal number 9 done. Then whatever that is, you want to fill that in right here. And you want to be specific. You want to list it out, type it out exactly what that goal is. All right. So now let's jump back over into Asana. And this is the one that we created. And I'm going to show you exactly how this is going to look. But what I want you, first I'll show you this. You click on add a section and then you name that section. And even here, you can hit the Control Command Shift and you can add your emoji if you want to. And then you can title this whatever your title is. And so an example of that is over here. So this is where you see up here across the very top, bring this in a little bit, right up here across the top, you've got daily goals, which are optional. I'll talk about those in a minute. Weekly, monthly, quarterly, your annual. This is the one that said no more than 12. And then your 12-month business projects. And then you're going to have an extra column here that was not on our worksheet, and that's called important info or links. All right. And this links here, what this is going to be, and let me go back down so it's small. The links here, this is actually a link to this document. All right. And the way you get that is you click this share button. And then you can grab that link. So when you click this, it pops up and you get to just copy the link and then you can paste it in. All right. And that's, you then take that and you come over here, and that's where you just, I would paste it in, and then that puts it in there for me so that I always have access and I remember where that document is very easily. I like to organize my Google Docs so that they're not just all over the place, but it's really nice when you're working inside here that you can just click and go directly to that document without having to look. So you'll notice that when I teach Asana, I almost always have one column that is like important info, that's like links and things like that. It's very important. It saves you a ton of time, and you're not searching for things that you use over and over again. So once you get in here, let's go to the list view instead of the board view, so everything shows. So up here at the top, you can see you've got list, board, timeline, calendar, workflow, dashboard, different things here. So we're going to go to the list view so that you can see everything. This first one listed right here is the one that was showing across the top. And then this is our next one, our next, see, let's go back for just a second. So the sections are called sections, and then the individual here are called tasks. All right, I wanted you to see this right here over on the right where it says add section. That's what these are. But when you go to the list view, this is a section, this is a section, this is a section, if that makes sense. All right. So you want to go through and you want to add your sections. And this, like I say, would be your important info links, your 12-month business projects, your annual goals, your quarterly goals, monthly, weekly, and then daily is optional. And that's what I mentioned earlier that I would talk about in just a minute. Daily, I don't use the daily inside Asana because I prefer to have the daily things that I'm going to do. That's all, like my daily activities are set up in Asana over here already within the various projects that are created, all based on the goals that I'm wanting to accomplish. So that would be like taking all of that and just literally putting it all in again, which to me just seems like a waste totally. Now, if you're just starting out in Asana, that may be a good place to add the things that you want to do on the daily. That may be a good way for you to begin, but as your Asana account grows, you're going to find that you've got all the different projects that over here that show on the left-hand menu. You're going to have these different projects that show up, and within those, you're going to have the tasks that you need. So that's the reason I personally don't use the daily. So it kind of depends on where you're at in your Asana journey as far as setting everything up. So I wanted to go ahead and include that here just in case you found that beneficial. So another thing I want to show you, and I will provide a screenshot of this over on my blog at kathyschneider.com. You can go over there to the blog and click the little blog tab, and you'll be able to see a screenshot of this if you want to take, just look at it, or you can take a screenshot here. But I do want to show you a couple of things. So I showed you already that inside the links, I put the link here. So it showed you that. Another thing I want to show you is when I set up the business projects, I estimate kind of when I want these to come due. So like for instance, this has things here that I want within this project. This is a mini membership that I'm launching. I've got it set for June 6th. These are some goals within that membership. This is the overall goal, is to launch it. But within that, there's some things, numbers I want to hit. And then you've got, I want to do a main membership. I've got that scheduled for the 6th. All right. The Facebook, this is a thing for my network marketing team. So it's our prospecting system. And then I want to be able to completely publish the kathyschneider.com website it's completely ready to go and everything's good to go there. I want that to be able to be ready here. All right. So these are some 12, these are the projects for me for the current year, which is 2023, things I'm shooting for. And then annual goals, what you do here, you would just go and you would list these out. For this, I did not list this out. This is like kind of a make-believe one that I put in here so that you could see how it works. But I started listing out a few things so you could see it. And you definitely want to list what's your number one focus goal for 2023. You want to include that in your annual goals. Quarterly, you always want those due dates to be based on the last day of that quarter. All right. Monthly, you're going to actually list them out here. And then if you'll see here, like April, I like to list no more than 6. This one only has 4. And this is like, okay, this was goals that I set for the month of April. And at the time of this recording, it's past 4 o'clock. So now I left this specifically so I could show you, so that because this is done, I'll hit the mark complete, close it down, and you see it then shades out. One other thing that you can do, which is really beneficial, you can go up here and you can filter, and you can filter out so that only incomplete tasks show. So anything that's already completed won't like jumble up your board. You can see everything very clearly this way, that, okay, you only see the months that are left or the weeks that are left. For the weekly, I do these by the week. I don't work in advance there. Like, I don't already know what I'm going to try to do for the week of May 19th, as an example, at the time, like when I prepared this for you, even though we're in June, when I prepared this template to show you, it was still back in May. And it's like, okay, that's not lined out. So I do these week by week. And so once a week, I'll sit down and go, okay, what are my goals for this week? What are the things I want to accomplish this week? And I put those on here. And this helps me stay on track so that I make sure I'm putting my time and energy into the goals that are very pertinent for that particular time period, if that makes sense. So I hope you found this helpful. Be sure to join my exclusive Facebook community for high-performance solopreneurs. You can join at kathyschneider.com/join-group. I'll put that link below this video. And remember to subscribe to my channel, because I publish a new episode every Thursday. And the next one, you're going to like this. It's how to prioritize tasks, get more done in less time.